On December the 16th, 2012, a young woman boarded a bus in Munirka, New Delhi, with a male friend. She was trying to get home from having just watched a movie. What followed in the hours of that night changed countless lives forever. Hers, the young man she was with, the perpetrators, people across India and indeed the world. It certainly changed my life and the group of people who gathered around the idea of creating a production that we have since called Nerbhaya. A Mumbai-based actress, Purna Jagannathan, reached out to me on the social media network Facebook. She told me that she had seen my work some years previously in New York and was asking me to come to India to create a new work around the incident that had just shocked Delhi and the world. It hardly seemed like a question. I needed to get on the next flight to India. Opening this work in Edinburgh is difficult to describe. I had the unique privilege of sitting in the auditorium every day and quietly watching from the back or the sides of the room as the tension slowly built up in the audience and an explosive atmosphere began to build as each audience member began to come to terms with what was being told to them on stage and was perhaps in a very deep dialogue with themselves about their own lives as survivors, as perpetrators, or as silent witnesses of sexual violence. Watching this each day in Edinburgh convinced me of the extraordinary power of theatre. It's something I've always known, but with the creation of this production, I've never felt more committed to the idea that theatre can indeed change minds, lives, and the world. Creating this production, Nerbhaya, was our deepest gesture to ensure that this young woman's life was not taken in vain. She's not somebody we are pretty sure who would have chosen to have suffered the extraordinary experience that she did, but she has become an icon, a catalyst for change. And while that story is out there and the streets have risen in protest, and while the world briefly has given attention to this issue, we want to grab this moment. We want to make sure that this production moves to every society possible so that we can carry its word, and we want you to be a part of that. Theatre is in itself an art that is dictated to by finances, like most things. Sadly, very often, the messages that are most needed will reach these places last, if ever at all. It sounds like a crazy idea, but as Margaret Mead said, never doubt the capacity of a small group of citizens to change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing.